What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue, and I plate a lot of my keto-friendly recipes on top of cauliflower mash. And I've had a subscriber ask me how I make my cauliflower mash, so that's what this recipe is going to be about. It's a very simple recipe, really nothing much to it. The only ingredients that you need for it, at least my recipe, is we have some cauliflower, just one head of cauliflower. I have about 5 cloves of roasted garlic. We're going to be using about 3/4 of a block of this cream cheese, some white pepper, and salt, and that's about a tablespoon of salt and 3/4 tablespoon of pepper, but that's going to be to taste. I'm going to be using actually this full stick of butter for this recipe. Now one of the things I'm adding to this that I normally don't add is going to be some fresh dill, and that's only because I have it on hand. As far as cooking your cauliflower goes, I'm going to go from best to worst, okay? So the best thing you could do is cook it in a pressure cooker for about 25 minutes. If you don't have a pressure cooker, but you do have a double boiler, like this, a pot, a boiler, do it like that. And if you don't, then just boil it in water. That's going to be fine as well. It just may take a little bit longer. What I'm going to do before we get into this recipe is I'm going to take our cauliflower. Now I don't have a steamer basket for my pressure cooker, so I'm just going to add it right to it. I do have a little plate down at the bottom of this. We're going to set this on top of that. I have my garlic cloves. We're going to throw that in. And it's not a plate, it's a rack. Excuse me about that. I'm going to put a cup of water in here, and we're going to pressure cook this for 25 minutes, and we're going to pick it up once this is done. Whether you cook this cauliflower in a pressure cooker, in a double steamer, or just in a regular pot, you can either use a hand mixer, a stand mixer like this. Normally all I do is I use one of these and just mash it up, but I'm going for some super creamy cauliflower mash this time, so we're going to be using our KitchenAid stand mixer. I have my salt and white pepper. We're going to throw that in. I'm going to throw in most of our dill as well. I'm going to reserve a little bit for later, as well as a little bit of melted butter to kind of drizzle over this when we're done. We have our 3/4 of a pack of cream cheese, and I'm just gonna kind of push this down, just kind of get it melted just a little bit. And I'm just using a knife. You can use whatever. Now we're gonna get our blender going and blend it up. And I'm going to add a little bit of this butter as we go. By the time I'm done, we should be using about 3/4 of this stick of butter, and we're going to be using 1/4 of this stick to kind of drizzle on top at the end for more of a visual effect more than anything else. And I already have that set aside. And this looks creamy right here. Let me pump up the volume on it. So that is it right there. I'm going to get this into a plating dish, put a little bit of sprinkles on top of it with this butter, and it's a wrap. So that right there is a wrap. Now what I'm going to be using this mashed cauliflower with is going to be a lemon pepper chicken recipe I plan on doing later on tonight. Link to that recipe is going to be in the iCard above in the description below. Run by there and take a look at that. It should be all that. Anyway, as far as this stuff goes, I knock this out plain by itself. Like I said, I normally don't go through the putting it in the stand mixer. I normally just mash it up, but either way, it's great. Get in. Now we don't have as much butter in these, but I'm telling you,
really good flavor. And ain't as filling as mashed potatoes.
I will actually put this up against mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway, whether you're on a keto diet no diet, this is the winner. If you haven't got into cauliflower mash, give it a try. I'm going to finish eating this stuff, get everything ready for my next recipe, which is that lemon pepper chicken. I'll check you out on the next video. You got anything to say?
It's great.
It's great. We're out. See ya.